So you can see it's important because that was the beginning, and later on about the beginnings of the Roman Empire, all to do with Remus and Romulus, the two boys of the everywhere, but you know, there's very many different parts, you know, everything from seafood to grills and roasts and different types of, and everybody has, like, you know, that spaghetti out of a can. They have a lot more cheese and hams, that sort of thing. Further south, it's more to do with olive oil, and as we're actually going over the mouth, into roughly a circle, because you never put the pizza dough in a pan. It's always lies flat on. So now, to actually smack him on the head with a club, and it split his head open, and out pops Athena.
La canela.
119. 115.
Estaban caminando. Có gì thảo biết ta lấy chị nè.
Mày thì có mày nó lại nó chỉ nó quay cái đường rồi đúng không? Chắc chắn là
like, and a lot of friction. You cannot just say the gypsies and that's it. There's lots of different ones. And obviously depending on the country that they're in, of how well they're integrated or have been allowed to carry on with their own these regular routes. It's all for you and you get your pension and your money. Well, that, even though they've had the sort of clean hands campaign and everything, that if you want to get a contract to build a tunnel, you've got to make sure that the right person is well rewarded. Bribery. Simple as that. I can give you a license to do that. Of course, we could, possibly, Italians, warm, hospitable people. The thing about men and women here, that's all part of their dolce vita, the sweet life, considering the amount of traffic, that there's so few accidents. To the walls, there's the pyramid, and the walls up ahead and to the right. And boom, we're about to come into ancient Roma. Heading towards the Tiber later, that if things carry on as they have, and they're doing at the moment, looking down there, not much of a threat down below. The Italians were so fed up with corruption and mafia problems and whatever, and they were the right-wing people, that they started local council. Right-wing party could survive. Those are islands on the left-hand side, folks, and they're hospitals. Like if you would, that's why it's always guarded. You see the guards outside? Just see coming up on the right. The terrorists, I think when you park, just sort of a little bit blocking is okay. They stop and have coffee at every bar and they chat. They usually look very cool. They have longer hair and, they have a little thatch or whatever. And the sort of local Casanova, they just sort of strut around doing their job. And fine you for speeding and, they do everything. But those people also service in many parts of Europe. And that's where they bring them in from. And below us, for the most part, was actually part of the Roman fortifications. Most of Rome was actually ancient. Very few, very little on the other side. We did have a wall and a section on the other side called the Trastevere, across from the Tevere. But most of Rome is where we are now. The traffic, folks, this is normal. It's Saturday night. It's a beautiful day. Everyone's out and strutting around. Dressed, you'll see, dressed to be teased, you've got the expression, and going through the walks, going through the aperitivo, because it's having the dinner, which goes on forever with wine and so on, okay? And then, let's have a look at a few things now. From Hadrian's mausoleum, the Emperor Hadrian, you may have heard of the Hadrian's Wall, up in north of England there somewhere. Well, he was buried there, but of course he's no longer there. That was pillaged. And it was turned into a medieval castle. This is where the popes defended themselves up there. This particular road, folks, but there's a lovely costume underneath there, which is a monument to these Swiss guards from treaty that was signed. And they say that Mussolini did that only in order to gain respect from the Catholic world for his fascist regime. Give it some free time. Let's see if we can find some places open. Yeah. Where? ruins. The original level is down there. We're going to go into the square, and you're going to see that it's a narrow, long square. It was...
the CD on top of the CD.
In 1870. All right? So before those walls and before they controlled the river, it's flooded, and up here is up on that level. And we've just walked in from the river, so you can imagine how bad it was. And so he did that to try and get the people on his side. This is Nirvana Square with 16th century buildings all around and a beautiful Baroque church up there. Now, I could make up names for you if you ask me about the name of every church, but there are more churches in Rome, I'm sure, than days in the year. So I mentioned some of the sort of major ones that I know. If you're particularly anxious to find out the names of some of the others, this is a nightlife square where people come out, there you are, even on a winter evening, to sort of stroll around and check the place out and so on. They come here especially in the summer because air conditioning is not a big thing. And you can't get to sleep until about midnight or later. So, people just stroll around and try and get a little bit of a breeze, let it cool down to be able to sleep at night. They've had a siesta, so they can afford to stay up late. So that obelisk anywhere is actually in Rome. Okay? They used to come from Egypt. They were gifts, if you will. So the Quattro Cubes, to that, and probably to the other, all these different types of stuff, and it's something that you hold in your hand and walk around with, get a can of Coke, a speaker, or whatever, and you're away, alright? Now, it just depends how much time we can afford here, what time we want to get back to the hotel. I would say to a dinner, just sit down and have the dinner, because remember, they don't serve super food here, in other words, you're not going to get to me in 15 minutes, okay? So, it's went up 3 little steps to heaven. Then Galini, you were in heaven when you went in there. Now the restaurant is not so good anymore apparently, but that shop there is a coffee shop, and they have a speciality if you like ice cream, take you to do your dessert. All right? Now, we can do your dessert, okay? If you don't want an ice cream or something, have a hot drink if you prefer. Now, I'm going to be there a little bit earlier, but I'm finished earlier. Come and get the dessert first, okay? All right, right.
Chào các bạn. Lo má phẳng thưa chứ mà Có mà giao xưa này.
Phải đó, xuống này anh.
Như vậy thì nè.
Nhớ vậy bé cái mày gì đó.
One of our meeting points tomorrow. Temple to the nation, the altar to the nation. And the man on his horse there, that's Victor Emmanuel II, the first king of the United Italy. And above that and beyond, it's actually a museum to the unification. Because remember, Italy for the first time in hundreds of years was first of all united under him. They're actually thinking of allowing the public to climb up and all over it, because from up there you're getting fabulous views. If you look below the horseman and below the statue, can you see in the middle there, in between the two flames, there are two soldiers. 24 hours a day, all the various military branches, the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, etc., they take 2-hour turns. Halfway and become an ancient Roman aqueduct. Okay? Now, it's a bit difficult to know whether it's a pipe coming from the mountain or and one is, who knows? All right? Let's go down there. Lots of people. There's going to be lots
Yeah, hả? Là thịt cái đó.
All the place, right around. And it's getting very crowded in there. As a matter of fact, there's only half a dozen, perhaps, spaces